I never thought a random evening walk would flip my whole neighborhood upside down. I never thought an HOA cop would stand in my driveway, yelling at a kid who barely even knows what the word loitering means. I heard the shouting before I even saw him. I heard my brother's scared voice. And something in my chest snapped open. When I stepped outside, the HOA cop looked at me like he owned the entire street. Like he owned us. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know what line he just crossed. He didn't know that this time, my family wasn't going to stay quiet. Because that night, everything changed, and the real war began. Welcome back to HOA Stories. My name is Mark. I live in a quiet suburb where everything looks normal. And nothing ever stays normal. If you hate power-tripping HOAs, or you ever wanted to stand up to them, hit subscribe right now. Drop a BOOO HOA in the comments. Share this video with anyone who survived HOA nonsense. Alright, let's jump in. I stepped off my porch that evening. Already annoyed. Already tired. Already done with the whole fake smile neighborhood vibe. The sun was dropping behind the rows of perfect HOA-approved houses. Each lawn trimmed the same way. Each mailbox the same height. Each home looking like someone copy-pasted it. To be honest, I never cared about any of that. I never wanted to fight anyone. I just wanted peace. Then I heard it. My little brother's voice. Shaky, nervous, trying to sound brave, trying not to cry. That sound hit me like a punch. I walked faster, crossing the small strip of grass in front of our house, trying to see what was happening. Then I saw him. The HOA cop. The same guy who always patrolled our street like he worked for the FBI. The same guy who acted like the sidewalks belonged to him. Big chest. Tight uniform. Stupid sunglasses even though the sun was almost gone. He was pointing at my brother. Right in his face. Like the kid had committed some kind of crime. My brother stood frozen. Hands in his pockets. Shoulders shrinking. Eyes wide. He is 13. A quiet kid. Not the type to bother anyone. The HOA cop barked again. You can't stand here doing nothing. This is loitering. Move along. I felt heat flood my face. Loitering. On the street he lived on. I pushed forward. My steps getting heavier. My jaw set tight. He didn't even notice me coming. He was too busy flexing on a child. You hear me? He snapped. Move. You don't just hang around here doing nothing. Rules are rules. My brother whispered. I was waiting for my friend. The cop cut him off. I don't care. You obey the HOA or there are consequences. That was it. That line. Consequences. For a kid. Standing on his own street. Waiting for a friend. I stepped between them before he could say another word. The HOA cop jerked back. Surprised. He had not expected anyone to challenge him. I stood tall. My shoulders squared. My voice low. What consequence? He lifted his chin. Trying to look tough. Trying to look bigger than he was. Residents must follow the rules, he said. Your brother was loitering. I'm within my right to warn him. Warn him for standing here? Asked. He lives on this street. He didn't bother anyone. The cop smirked. That fake confident smirk some guys use to hide fear. He tapped the notepad on his belt. Like it was a weapon. Kids cause trouble when they hang around doing nothing, he said. I'm preventing problems before they start. I stepped a little closer. Close enough for him to see I wasn't scared. So you're predicting crimes now? He didn't like that. His nostrils flared. His jaw clenched. He leaned forward. This neighborhood is safe because of me, he said. You don't question me. My brother shifted behind me. I felt him press closer, seeking protection. That did something to me. It woke up a part of me that didn't come out often. A part that didn't like bullies. A part that didn't forgive people who scared kids for fun. The cop noticed it. He stepped back just a little. Barely. But I saw it. a tiny shake in his confidence. "You need to calm down," he muttered. "You're escalating things." "No," I said quietly. "You escalated it when you yelled at a kid for standing on a sidewalk we all pay for." He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Then he switched to a different tactic. The usual HOA power move. "Fine," he said, voice sharp. "I'll be filing a report. The board will hear about this. There are rules." I laughed. I didn't plan to. It just slipped out. The absurdity was too much. "A report," I said. "For what?" "For talking to you." His face reddened. He wasn't used to being challenged, especially not by people who knew the rules as well as he did. I leaned in a little. Not aggressive, just steady, calm. "Here's my suggestion," I said. "You walk away. You leave my brother alone. You stop power tripping. Then you go do something useful like helping someone who actually needs it." He blinked. Confused. Offended. Rattled. "You think this is over?" he said. I raised an eyebrow. "No. I think you're about to make a bigger mistake if you keep pushing this." That line hit him hard. He frowned, then stepped back, then turned, then stormed off with that stiff walk angry men do when they don't want anyone to see they lost. My brother exhaled, a shaky breath, his shoulders finally relaxing. "You okay?" I asked. He nodded, but I could see the fear still sitting in his eyes. He was yelling so much, he whispered. He said he could kick people out of the neighborhood for breaking rules. I sighed. That was classic HOA cop nonsense. They love pretending they have power they don't actually have. I placed a hand on his shoulder. "Listen," I said. "No one is kicking us out. He just likes pretending he's important. You didn't do anything wrong." My brother looked at me, finally breathing normally, finally calming. "Are you gonna get in trouble now?" he asked. I smiled, but inside, I had a strange feeling. A deep one. A heavy one. Like tonight was just the start of something bigger. Something louder. Something no one in the neighborhood would ignore. "We'll deal with whatever comes," I said. "Don't worry." We walked home. Quiet. Both thinking. The sky was darker now. Porch lights glowing across the street. SUV headlights passing in slow patterns. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Like the calm before something heavy breaks. When we stepped inside, I locked the door. Not because I was scared, but because I knew the HOA cop would not let this go. Guys like him never let go. They need an enemy. They need someone to flex on. Someone to prove their tiny authority to. Tonight, he picked the wrong family. I sat down on the couch, thinking, planning, wondering how far he would try to take this. My brother sat beside me, silent, waiting. That silence told me a lot. He trusted me to protect him, to stand up, to fight if needed. I wasn't going to let him down. The HOA cop made a mistake. A big one. He picked a kid to bully. He picked the wrong street. He picked the wrong brother. And deep down, I knew this wasn't ending. This was only the start. So tell me, if someone messed with your little brother like this, how would you respond?
I didn't sleep much that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the HOA cop's face. That fake authority. That finger pointed at my brother. That stupid notepad he tried to use like a weapon. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, listening to the quiet hum of the AC, feeling something in my chest tightening. Not fear, not anger, something heavier, something that said, "This isn't over." Morning came slow, gray light sliding through the blinds. My phone buzzed before I even got out of bed. A text from my neighbor, Jacob. Bro of all brothers. The kind of guy who spots drama like radar. It said, "Yo, you need to see the HOA page. That cop dude posted something about you." I groaned. Here we go. I rolled out of bed, walked to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and tried to calm my thoughts. But it didn't work. Because the second I opened the HOA community app, I almost laughed. There it was. A whole post. written by the HOA cop himself. The man actually typed up a dramatic essay about a confrontation with an aggressive resident, and a minor who refused to comply with neighborhood safety rules, and a potential threat to the peace of the community. My jaw dropped. Aggressive resident. Potential threat. He described my brother like he was some street gangster. My blood boiled. I couldn't believe the straight-up lies. Then I scrolled. Comments everywhere. Mostly confused residents. A few nosy neighbors. And of course, the 2 or 3 HOA loyalists hyping him up like he saved the world. Good job keeping our neighborhood safe. Kids today have no respect. Parents need to control their children. I wanted to punch through my phone. My brother walked into the living room. Hair messy. Still half asleep. He saw my expression. Eyes widened. "What happened?" he asked quietly. I turned the screen toward him. He read it slowly. His face sinking. His shoulders curling inward. Like someone punched the air out of him. "That's not what happened," he whispered. "He lied." I nodded. I put my hand on his shoulder. "I know. I was there. You didn't do anything wrong. He just wants power." He swallowed hard. I could tell the whole thing still scared him. Then he said something that hit me in the gut. "Are people going to think I'm a troublemaker now?" That moment flipped a switch in me. Not anger. Determination. No one was going to label my brother. No HOA cop was going to make him feel unsafe. No neighborhood gossip was going to brand him as anything. I stood up. I grabbed my keys. And I told him, "Get ready. We're going out." He blinked. "Where?" "To fix this." He nodded slowly. Still nervous. But trusting me. Because he always did. We got in the car. The morning sun finally breaking over the rooftops. The neighborhood looking pretty. Quiet. Normal. Fake. I drove straight to the HOA office. A small beige building squeezed between 2 perfectly trimmed hedges. The kind of place that looks friendly, until you step inside and feel your soul getting fined for breathing. The door chimed when we walked in. The lady at the front desk looked up. Tight bun. Tight smile. Tight everything. "Yes. How can I help you?" "I need to speak to Officer Grant," I said. Her smile stretched even tighter. "Regarding what?" "Regarding the false report he posted online about my brother." Her smile evaporated. She typed something on her computer. Too fast. Like this wasn't new. Like she was used to dealing with his mess. Then she said, "He's in the back. I'll let him know you're here." While we waited, I scanned the wall. HOA posters everywhere. Rules. Fines. Regulations. Photos of board members trying to look important. This place felt like the DMV, but with landscaping anxiety. Then he walked out. The HOA cop. Officer Grant. Same uniform from last night. Same sunglasses. Same stiff walk. The moment he saw me, his expression shifted. A flicker of annoyance. A tiny spark of fear. Then a forced confidence he pasted on like makeup. "You again," he muttered. "Yeah," I said. "And you posted lies about my brother." He stepped forward. Hands on hips. Trying to look authoritative. "The community needs awareness about disruptive behavior," he said. "I stand by my report." "Disruptive behavior?" I repeated. He was waiting for a friend. On a public sidewalk. You yelled at him like he robbed someone. My brother stayed close behind me. Silent. But his eyes were locked on the man. Grant crossed his arms. "Kids loitering leads to problems," he said. "It starts small. I'm keeping order." I shook my head. He really believed his own nonsense. Or he needed to pretend he did. "You're not keeping order," I said. "You're targeting a kid because you enjoy the power trip." He scoffed. "You should thank me instead of causing more trouble." I laughed. Again. Couldn't help it. "Trouble?" I said. "You caused the trouble. We're here to fix it." Then I pulled out my phone. Opened the camera. Hit record. His eyes widened. "What are you doing?" "Documenting this conversation," I said. "Since you like writing false reports, I'm keeping a real one." He stuttered. Stepped back. "You can't record me here. It's a community office. Public access. Totally allowed." He froze. Didn't expect that. Didn't know how to handle it. The desk lady looked uncomfortable. But she didn't say anything. Probably because she knew he screwed up. My voice stayed calm. Steady. Controlled. "Here's what you're going to do," I said. "You're going to remove the post. Every word of it. You're going to apologize to my brother. And you're going to stop harassing kids on this street." His jaw clenched. His hands curled into fists. He looked at my brother. Then back at me. "No," he said. "I'm not apologizing. Your brother broke the rules. And if you keep pushing this, the HOA board will take action against your household. That line, that threat. My brother flinched. But I didn't move. I stared at the cop, silent, letting the weight of it sit between us. Then I said softly, "You're making another big mistake." He stepped closer, right in my face, trying to intimidate me. "You want to fight?" he asked. "You think you can threaten the HOA?" I tilted my head. Calm. Too calm. "You think I'm here because I'm scared of you?" He blinked, confused. "I'm here because you picked on the wrong family," I said. "And trust me, you're not ready for what happens next." The room went quiet. The desk lady slowly lowered her eyes. The air felt thick, heavy, charged. Grant opened his mouth, but nothing came out. I turned, motioned for my brother to follow, and we walked out, leaving him frozen in the hallway. When we reached the parking lot, my brother exhaled. "You think he'll stop?" he asked. I looked up at the sky. The clouds heavy, the air warm, a storm somewhere waiting. "No," I said quietly. "He won't stop at all." My brother swallowed hard. "So what now?" I leaned against the car, thinking, planning. Because now, this wasn't just about correcting a lie. This was about stopping a man who believed he owned the whole neighborhood. And for someone like him, this wasn't the end. This was the beginning. So tell me, if someone doubled down on their lies like this, would you stay calm? Or would you push back even harder? The rest of that day felt slow. Too slow. Like the neighborhood was holding its breath. Waiting for the next move. Waiting for the next punch. I tried to distract myself. I played some music. Did a little cleaning. Even tried to cook something. But my mind kept circling back. To the HOA cop's face. To that look in his eyes. Half anger. Half fear. Half ego. A man who wanted control. And hated losing it. My brother stayed quiet most of the afternoon. He usually laughs. Jokes around. Talks nonstop. Not today. He sat on the couch. Knees pulled up. Scrolling on his phone. Reading comments on the HOA app. Reading lies. Reading strangers arguing about him like he was some headline. At one point, he whispered, "Why do grown-ups act like this?" I didn't have an answer. So I just sat beside him, hoping my presence was enough. Around sunset, Jacob called. He never calls. He always texts. So when my phone rang, I knew something was up. I stepped outside to take it. The air warm. Crickets starting their evening chorus. Porch lights flickering on across the street. "What's up?" I answered. He didn't waste time. "Bro, you need to see this," he said. He posted again. A big one. I sighed. "What now?" "Check the app," he said. "Just check it. And be ready. People are losing their minds." I hung up, opened the app again. And there it was. A new post. From Officer Grant. This one even longer than before. He really sat down and wrote another dramatic monologue. Like he was the tragic hero of some HOA fantasy novel. He claimed I threatened him inside the office. He said I recorded without consent. He said my brother was showing signs of habitual misbehavior. Habitual. My brother barely leaves the house except to get snacks. It was ridiculous. Pathetic. Almost funny. Almost. But then I saw the comments. This time, people weren't confused. They were angry. They picked sides. They fought in long comment chains. Neighbors who normally waved politely were now typing paragraphs, calling each other irresponsible, dangerous, disrespectful. And somehow, our family was at the center of it. My heart pounded, not out of fear, but out of something bitter, a feeling I hadn't felt in years. Someone messes with you. Fine. You can handle that. Someone messes with your little brother. That's different. That's personal. That's war. I walked back inside. My brother looked up at me. His face pale. His eyes tired. "They're talking about us again, right?" he whispered. "Yeah," I said softly. "They are." He looked back down, hands trembling just a little. I knelt down in front of him. "Hey," I said. "You didn't do anything wrong. This is on him. Not on you." He nodded. But I could tell the words didn't land. Not the way they should. Not the way I hoped. He was hurting. And the HOA cop caused it. Intentionally. That's when my phone buzzed again. A message. From someone I never expected. My neighbor, Mr. Reese. 60-something. Gray hair. Quiet. The type who keeps his yard perfect and his opinions private. His message said, "Need to talk. Urgent. Meet me outside in 5." I raised an eyebrow. Why him? Why now? I stepped outside. And there he was, standing in his driveway. Arms crossed. Face serious. Walk with me, he said. We walked down the sidewalk. The same sidewalk where everything started. The same sidewalk where my brother was yelled at. The same sidewalk suddenly loaded with memories. After a long silence, he said, I saw the post. Both posts. Yeah, I muttered. Seems like everyone did. He nodded slowly, his expression unreadable. Look, I don't like that man. Never have. He abuses his authority. He goes after kids because they can't fight back. I stopped walking, turned to him. So why hasn't anyone done anything? He laughed. Not a happy laugh. A tired one. You don't understand how the board works, he said. They protect their own. They love enforcement. They love control. They love people like him. Makes them feel powerful. I clenched my teeth. So what? He can just lie about residents and nothing happens. Mr. Reese looked around, as if the street had ears. That's the thing, he said. He's done this before. More than once. But this time is different. How? I asked. He looked straight at me. Because you're not the type to roll over. And he knows it. He's scared of you. I blinked. I didn't expect that. Scared? Yes, he said. You challenged him. You recorded him. You spoke calmly. Bullies hate calm people. They don't know how to fight someone who doesn't shake. I exhaled slowly, letting his words sink in. He continued. You should know something. The HOA board is meeting tomorrow morning. He's planning to bring a complaint against you. My stomach tightened. Of course he is. But listen carefully, he said, his voice dropping lower. You're not alone in this. People are watching him now. People who never noticed before. People who used to ignore things. I raised an eyebrow. Why are you telling me this? He took a breath, then said something that surprised me. I have a granddaughter. She's 11. Last year he yelled at her for having sidewalk chalk on her driveway. She cried for days. No one on the board listened when I complained. They told me she was defacing the community's image. My jaw clenched. This guy had been hurting families for a long time. You didn't deserve that, I said. He looked at me. Eyes sharp. Tired. Fed up. No, he said. And neither does your brother. This needs to stop. And maybe you're the one who finally makes it stop. He stepped closer, lowering his voice even more. If you're willing to fight this, I'll back you. And I think others will too. I blinked. This quiet old man, this rule-following homeowner, was offering support, not just emotionally, strategically, publicly. Why me? I asked quietly. He smiled. A small smile. The kind people give when they see strength you don't realize you have. Because you're not afraid of them, he said. And because he already crossed the line. You're already involved. Might as well finish it. I took a deep breath. A heavy one. A grounding one. Tomorrow morning? I asked. Yes, he said. 10 a.m. HOA office. He'll be there. The board will be there. And if you show up, the whole neighborhood will hear about it. I nodded slowly. Then I'll be there, I said. Good, he said. Just be ready. He's not going to play fair. I turned to walk back home. Mind spinning. Heart steady. Breath slow. The sky was darker now. The streetlights buzzing. The neighborhood silent. Like it knew something big was coming. When I reached my house, my brother opened the door before I knocked. Like he had been waiting. How was it? He asked softly. I smiled a little. Tomorrow, I said. We settle this tomorrow. His eyes widened. Nervous. Hopeful. Scared. All at once. You think it'll be okay? He asked. I placed my hand on his shoulder. It won't just be okay, I said. It's going to change everything. He nodded. Swallowed. Tried to be brave. And I realized something. This wasn't just about one bad cop, or one false report, or one stupid argument. This was about the entire neighborhood, about the way people like him treat people like us, about fear, control, power, silence. And tomorrow, we weren't staying silent. So tell me, if your neighborhood turned against a bully like this, would you walk into that board meeting, or would you wait for someone else to fight your battle? The next morning felt heavier than usual. The sky looked normal. The street looked normal. The quiet looked normal. Nothing inside me felt normal. I woke up early. Earlier than I planned. Earlier than I wanted. Because my mind would not stop spinning. I sat at the kitchen table. Hands wrapped around a mug of coffee. Not drinking it. just holding it, trying to ground myself. My brother walked in. Hair messy, eyes still sleepy, voice soft. You're going today, right? I nodded. Yeah, 10 a.m. He pulled out a chair, sat across from me, fidgeting with the drawstrings on his hoodie. I wish I could come with you, he whispered. I looked at him, saw the guilt in his eyes, the fear, the pressure he put on himself. You don't need to, I said gently. This is my job. You're a kid. This should never have fallen on you in the first place. He nodded slowly, but his eyes still looked worried. Worried for me, worried for himself, worried for whatever came after today. I reached across the table, tapped his hand lightly. Whatever happens, I said. I got you. Nothing changes that. His shoulders relaxed a little. Only a little. But I noticed. The hours passed slow. Too slow. Until it was finally time. 10 a.m. I stood at the door, grabbed my keys, took a deep breath, opened the door. My brother walked me out, stood beside me on the porch, the morning sun warming his face. Come back soon, he said, voice quiet. I gave him a small smile. I will. I got in the car, started the engine, and drove toward the HOA office. The neighborhood looked picture perfect. Lawns trimmed, driveways clean, flags gently swaying in the breeze. The kind of place realtors love showing off. Yet the place felt tense, like the calm was fake, like everyone knew what was coming. When I turned the last corner, my heart jumped. People were already outside the HOA office. Not a huge crowd, but more than I expected. 5, 6, maybe 7 neighbors. Talking, whispering, watching the entrance. I parked, stepped out, and the talking stopped. They all looked at me, some curious, some nervous, some supportive, some confused. One of them walked forward, a woman in her 30s. Yoga clothes, messy bun. She said, "We saw the posts. We wanted to hear your side." I nodded, kept my voice calm. "You will." Before I could say more, someone called my name. It was Mr. Reese, walking toward me with his slow, steady steps. His face serious, his eyes sharp. "You're here," he said. "I said I would come," I replied. He nodded. "Good. They are all inside. The board, the officer, everyone. You ready?" I took a deep breath. "Yeah, I'm ready." He put a hand on my shoulder. "Remember something," he said. "They expect you to yell. They expect you to lose your temper. They expect you to act like the person he described. Do the opposite." I nodded, his words settling into my mind, steadying me. "Stay calm," he continued. "It scares people like him more than shouting ever will." I pushed open the door. The office lobby was silent. Too silent, almost like it was staged. The front desk lady stiffened when she saw me. She didn't smile, didn't speak, just pointed toward the meeting room. I walked toward it, each step slow, controlled, deliberate. When I opened the door, everyone turned. 5 board members sitting at a long table. Papers spread out. Glasses of water. Fake professionalism. In the corner, arms crossed, back straight, jaw tight. Officer Grant. He glared at me, his eyes sharp, defensive, bitter. The board chair spoke first. A woman with pearl earrings, tight blazer, polished voice. "Thank you for coming. Please take a seat." I sat, hands steady, breath controlled. She continued, "We have received 2 reports from Officer Grant regarding you and your younger brother. Before we proceed, we would like to hear your account." I nodded, kept my voice even. "He yelled at my brother for standing on the sidewalk," I said. "He called it loitering. He scared him. I stepped in. That is what happened." Grant scoffed. "Loud. Obvious. Annoying. That is not what happened," he snapped. I approached the minor because he was wandering aimlessly and refusing to comply when questioned. I turned my head slowly toward him. "He was waiting for a friend," I said. "He wasn't wandering. He wasn't causing trouble. He wasn't refusing anything." He leaned forward. "He disrespected authority," he said. "You disrespected authority. You threatened me inside this very building." The board chair raised a hand, silencing him. "Let him finish," she said. I continued. "I did not threaten anyone. I recorded the conversation for safety. Nothing more. I have the video if that helps." That line changed everything. A ripple went through the room. The board members exchanged glances. One of them adjusted his glasses. Grant stiffened. You cannot record inside this office without permission, he barked. It is public access, I said calmly. I am allowed to document a complaint that involves me. He opened his mouth, closed it, his face turning slightly red. The board chair cleared her throat. May we see the recording? She asked. I nodded, pulled out my phone, opened the video, placed it on the table. The room went silent. Everyone watched. The recording played clearly. Grant yelling. Grant threatening. Grant changing his tone when he saw the camera. Grant refusing to apologize. Grant escalating everything. When the video ended, silence hung heavy. The type of silence filled with truth. The type no one can argue with. One board member leaned back, exhaling. This is concerning, he said quietly. Another whispered. He spoke to a child like that? Grant's jaw tightened. He slammed his hand on the table. This is taken out of context, he said. He edited it. He planned this. He provoked me. I didn't move. Didn't flinch. Didn't react. The board chair spoke carefully. The video appears genuine. We need to address this seriously. Grant looked like he wanted to explode. His face red. His voice strained. You're going to take his word over mine, he growled. He is manipulating everyone. He is trying to make me look bad. I finally spoke. Quiet. Steady. You made yourself look bad. He turned toward me, eyes sharp with anger. But there was something else. Fear. Real fear. I continued. My brother was scared of you. You crossed a line. You abused your authority. You lied publicly. You turned the community against a kid who did nothing wrong. The board members were silent. Listening. Absorbing. Grant tried again. Kids like him cause problems, he muttered. They start small. They grow into trouble. That line. That sentence. Sealed his fate. The board chair frowned. You cannot speak about residents that way, she said. Especially minors. Grant's mouth hung open, his confidence cracking, his posture trembling. For the first time, he looked small, not in size, but in presence. The board whispered among themselves, voices low, expressions serious. One of them finally looked at me. We will handle this internally. You and your family are not facing any violations. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention. I nodded slowly. Thank you. I stood, turned, and walked toward the door. As I reached it, Grant spoke behind me, his voice sharp, desperate. This isn't over. I paused, looked back, met his eyes. Stop going after kids, I said softly. It is over. He didn't respond. He couldn't. I stepped outside. The sun bright, the air warm, neighbors still waiting. Eyes on me. Mr. Reese walked forward. How did it go? He asked. I exhaled, a calm, heavy breath. It went the way it needed to go. He smiled. Small. Satisfied. Good. Maybe things will finally change now. I looked at the building. Looked at the street. Looked at the people who stood up. The people who watched. The people who cared. Then I wondered something. So tell me, if you exposed a bully in front of an entire board like this, would you walk away calm? Or would you say something more to him on your way out? Walking out of that building felt unreal. The sun felt brighter. The air felt lighter. The ground felt different under my feet. It should have been a victory. It should have felt like the end. It didn't. It felt like the beginning of something bigger. Something deeper. Something coming straight toward us. Mr. Reese walked beside me, hands behind his back, breathing slow. Steady. You handled that well, he said. I shrugged, still replaying everything in my mind. I stayed calm. He nodded. That is why you won today. People were still standing near the entrance. A few neighbors, some curious, some supportive, some pretending they were there for unrelated reasons. A middle-aged man stepped forward. Baseball cap, work boots, tired eyes. He said, "Good job in there." Someone needed to show that guy he can't bully families. I nodded, thanked him, kept walking. More neighbors followed. Small comments, quick nods, supportive looks. It was strange. We never talked much before. We lived on the same street for years. But no one ever said more than, "Nice weather. Good morning. Trash day is Thursday." Now, after one confrontation, after one video, after one truth, they acted like they had been waiting to speak up, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to go first. Maybe that was how HOAs worked. Everyone hated the rules, but no one wanted to be the first to push back. When we reached the parking lot, My phone buzzed. A message. From the HOA app again. I groaned quietly, bracing myself for another mess. But this time, the notification wasn't from Grant. It was from the board. Community update. Officer Grant has been placed under temporary review pending investigation. My eyes widened. Temporary review. That was HOA language for. You're on thin ice. Mr. Reese leaned over, reading the message on my screen. Good, he said. Maybe he will be gone for good. I nodded slowly, but something inside me stayed tense. Wary. Alert. People like him did not disappear quietly. They did not step back. They did not accept blame. They looked for revenge. I drove home. My brother waiting at the window, face pressed against the glass. He ran to the door, opened it before I even reached the steps. You're back, he said. Eyes wide, voice shaky with excitement. Yeah, I said, smiling as gently as I could. How did it go? I told him the basics. The board listened. The video helped. No trouble for us. The cop was under review. He listened carefully, hands twisting the end of his hoodie, eyes trying to stay brave. Is he in trouble? He asked. Yeah, I said softly. He's finally in trouble. He nodded, relief mixed with fear. A strange combination. A heavy one. He walked to the couch, sat down slowly, processing everything. I sat beside him, shoulder to shoulder. You did good, he whispered. I didn't do anything special, I said. I just told the truth. He shook his head. No, you protected me. His voice cracked a little. Only a little. But it hit me hard. Before I could respond, someone knocked on the door. A fast knock. Sharp. Urgent. I stood. Walked over. Took a breath. Opened it. It was Maria, our neighbor across the street. The one who always jogged every morning. The one whose son played basketball with my brother sometimes. Her expression was serious. Her eyes worried. We need to talk, she said. I stepped aside. She entered quickly, looked around, then whispered. I think you should know this. My husband just texted me. He saw the officer talking to someone near the maintenance shed behind the HOA office. He looked furious. He was slamming his hands on the fence. He kept pointing toward our street. My chest tightened. Did he say anything? I asked. He couldn't hear. But he said it looked like Grant was swearing. Pacing. Kicking the ground. I exhaled. Slow. But heavy. This was the part one expected. The part where ego steps in. The part where someone who lost their power tries to take it back in the worst way possible. Maria placed a hand on my arm. Please be careful, she said. He is not stable. He scares me. He scares a lot of us. I nodded. Thanks for telling me. She left quietly, looking over her shoulder, like the street itself was watching her. My brother looked at me, eyes wide again. What does she mean? Why would he be angry? I sat down, looked him in the eyes. He thought he would win today, I said. He didn't. That makes some people angry. He swallowed hard. Do you think he'll come here? I wished I could say no. I wished I could promise safety. I wish the world worked like that. I don't think he'll show up here, I said, keeping my tone steady. But he might try something stupid. The rest of the afternoon passed slow. Too slow. Every sound outside, every car, every footstep, made my brother flinch, made me tense, made the house feel smaller. Around 6. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was Jacob. Bro, something is happening. Come outside quietly. My heart jumped. I stood, peeked through the blinds. 6 neighbors stood together on the sidewalk, talking in a small circle. I told my brother, stay inside. He nodded, eyes worried, hands shaking. I stepped outside, walked toward the group. Jacob pointed down the street. You're not going to believe this, he said. I followed his finger, squinting in the fading sunlight. A white HOA security car sat 2 houses down, windows dark, engine off, parked like someone was watching the entire street. My breath caught. It was him. It had to be him. What is he doing here? I whispered. An older woman near us sighed. He drove by 3 times already. Slow, like he was looking for someone. My jaw clenched. This was harassment. This was control. This was ego. This was everything he had been doing. But louder, bolder, more reckless. He is not supposed to be on duty, someone said. The board placed him on review. Jacob chuckled angrily. You think he cares? He is obsessed. You embarrassed him. He wants payback. I stared at the car. My pulse steady. My mind focused. My anger cold. Controlled. Let him sit there, I said. He can't do anything without digging his hole deeper. Jacob nodded. But everyone else looked uneasy. Some stepped back. Some folded their arms. Some whispered to each other. The sun dipped lower. The street grew darker. The white car still didn't move. My phone buzzed again. Another message. This time from an unknown number. The message said, "You think you won. Just wait." I stared at it. My heartbeat quickening. My jaw tightening. Jacob leaned over. "What's that?" I showed him. His eyes widened. "Bro, that's him." I nodded slowly. Of course it was. Of course he would take it this far. He couldn't accept losing. He couldn't accept truth. He couldn't accept someone challenging him. My brother opened the door slightly. Peeked out. Saw the group. Saw the car. He whispered, "Is he here because of me?" The question hit hard. Harder than anything today. Hitting straight through my chest. I walked to him. Leaned down. "No," I said quietly. "He is here because he can't handle the truth. That's all." He nodded. Eyes still scared. I looked back at the street. The white car. The officer's silhouette barely visible behind the tinted glass. Tomorrow, the neighborhood would know. Tomorrow, the board would hear more. Tomorrow, his lies would crumble. Tonight, he watched. He waited. He simmered. He cracked. He planned. So tell me, if someone like him parked outside your house after being exposed, would you confront him? Or would you wait to see his next move? The white HOA car stayed parked on the street almost an hour. Its headlights off. Its engine silent. Its presence loud. No one spoke much. Even the neighbors who had gathered earlier drifted back toward their homes. Each one glancing nervously over their shoulders. Each one pretending everything was normal. Each one knowing it was not. Jacob stayed with me longer than the others. Arms folded. Eyes locked on the car. "He is waiting for you to make a move," he said quietly. I nodded. "That is why I am not moving." Jacob exhaled. "You think he will do something stupid?" I didn't answer. My silence was enough. After a while, Jacob headed home, leaving me standing alone in the middle of the sidewalk. Watching. Waiting. Thinking. My phone buzzed again. Another message. This time from my mother. She was working late. She asked if everything was okay. I typed a simple reply. "Everything fine. Talk later." I did not want to worry her. Not tonight. Not with this chaos. Not with the white car still crouching down the street like a predator waiting for the right moment. The sun finally disappeared. Streetlights flickered on. A dog barked somewhere in the distance. 2 cars passed slowly. The white HOA car never moved. I stood there, arms crossed, breathing steady, watching it, letting him know I saw him, letting him know he wasn't scaring me. After what felt like forever, the engine finally hummed. The car rolled forward, turned around, and drove off into the darker side of the neighborhood. Slow, creeping, lingering. I watched until the taillights disappeared completely. Only then did I go back inside. My brother was sitting on the couch, knees up, eyes wide, face pale. "Is he gone?" he whispered. "Yeah," I said. "He is gone for now." He nodded slowly, trying to relax, trying to believe it was over, trying to trust my calm. I sat beside him, rested my hand on his back. "You're safe," I said. "He can't do anything without proving us right." He nodded again, though the fear in his eyes stayed. That night, sleep came slow. The house felt restless, like the walls held every sound too closely, like the air was thick with worry. I checked the locks twice, then checked them again, not because I was scared for myself, but because I knew my brother would sleep easier if he heard the clicks. I finally went to bed, eyes burning, mind spinning, but my body exhausted. I drifted off, then woke up only a few hours later. The sun wasn't up yet. The sky was a deep gray, a cold stillness filling the house. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. A text from Jacob. It said, "Wake up. You need to see this. Walk outside carefully." My stomach tightened. I sat up, ran a hand through my hair, stood up slowly. I walked toward the front window, peeled back the curtain. Just a little. My heart dropped. There were flyers, dozens of them, scattered across my front yard, scattered across the driveway, taped to my mailbox, tucked under the windshield of my car, all printed on the same white HOA-style paper, all with the same headline, large bold letters, Unsafe individual in this home. My pulse pounded. Heat crawled up my neck. I opened the front door. Stepped outside. Picked up one of the flyers. It had a grainy photo. A screenshot from the HOA app. A photo of me. The one from months ago when I attended a neighborhood block party. Below it, lines of text. He threatened an HOA officer. He encourages minors to break rules. He is disruptive to community safety. All lies. All twisted. All planted. My brother opened the door behind me. Saw the flyers. Froze. "What is that?" he whispered. I crumpled the paper in my fist. "It is nothing you need to worry about," I said. Even though we both knew it was everything. Jacob walked across the street, holding 2 flyers in his hand. "They are everywhere," he said. "They were on my lawn too. On 4 lawns down the street. Someone put them out before sunrise." My jaw clenched. I looked around, but the street was empty. Too quiet. Too still. Jacob lowered his voice. "You know who did this?" I nodded slowly. Of course I did. There was no question. No doubt. Only one man would do something this petty. This desperate. This loud. Officer Grant. My brother crouched. Picked up another flyer. Hands shaking. "Why is he doing this?" he asked. Voice cracking. "Because he lost," I said. Quiet. Controlled. Sharp. He wants people to believe he is the victim. Neighbors began stepping outside. Some picking up flyers. Some frowning. Some whispering to each other. A mother walking her dog stopped in front of my driveway. Held up a flyer. And said, "Who put these out?" Her tone wasn't judgmental. She looked more annoyed. Like she was tired of the drama already. "That is what I would like to know," I replied. Everyone glanced around. But no one spoke. I picked up a handful of flyers. Walked inside. Dumped them on the table. My brother trailed behind me. Eyes still wide. Hands shaking slightly. I looked at him. "He is doing this because he wants attention," I said. "He wants control. He wants fear. He wants you to feel small." My brother swallowed hard. "I don't want to live here anymore," he whispered. That hit me. Deep. Sharp. Real. I knelt down. Looked him in the eyes. "I know," I said. "I know this is horrible. I know this is scary. But running away is exactly what he wants." He looked down. Voice tiny. "I just want this to stop." My phone rang. "Mr. Reese." I answered. "You saw the flyers?" he asked. "Yes," I said, keeping my tone steady. He sighed heavily. "I thought he might try something desperate, but I didn't expect this level. The board needs to see these." He paused. Lowered his voice. "There is something else. I walked my dog early this morning. I saw a car parked by the maintenance shed again. Same white security car. I could not see who was inside, but I can guess." I rubbed my forehead. Of course he was there. There was another pause. "You need to come to the board office again," he said. "They need to see these in person. This is harassment. This is community defamation. This is serious." I looked at my brother, who was sitting on the couch now. Knees up. Arms wrapped around them. I looked at the flyers. Spread across the table like some twisted display. I looked out the window. Toward the empty street. This wasn't just a cop with an ego anymore. This was obsession. This was escalation. This was a man who refused to accept the truth. I took a breath. A steady one. A determined one. "I will go," I said. "But I am not going alone." Mr. Reese replied. "I will meet you outside in 20 minutes. I hung up. Grabbed a stack of flyers. Folded them. Slipped them into a folder. My brother looked up at me. "You are going back there?" "Yes," I said calmly. "They need to see what he is doing." He hesitated. Then stood. Voice small. "Can I come with you?" I shook my head gently. "Not this time. I need you safe. Stay here. I will be back soon." He swallowed. Nodded. Trusting me even though the fear sat heavy in his eyes. I stepped outside. Closed the door behind me. And felt the weight of the neighborhood settle on my shoulders. The sun was rising. Casting long shadows across the street. The kind that made everything look stretched and strange. Today, I was not going to stay quiet. Not after what he did. Not after he attacked our name. Our home. Our safety. So tell me, if someone plastered lies about you all over your neighborhood, would you fight it publicly? Or would you confront the person privately first? Mr. Reese was already waiting outside when I stepped onto the porch. Hands in his jacket pockets. Face grim. Eyes alert. He nodded when he saw the folder in my hand. "Good. Bring all of it," he said. I locked the door, took one last look at the house, and followed him toward his car. Neighbors peeked through curtains, stood on porches, held flyers in their hands like evidence from a crime scene. Some gave me quiet nods. Some whispered to each other. Some looked furious for me. Not at me. The whole street felt different this morning. It felt awake. It felt aware. It felt tired of being pushed around. As we drove toward the HOA office, I stared out the window, thinking about the last 48 hours. The yelling, the lies, the meeting, the car parked near my house, the flyers, my brother's fear. Everything seemed connected, like one long thread of pressure that finally snapped. Mr. Reese cleared his throat. "Before we go in," he said, "you need to understand something. People like him break fast when they lose their image." I nodded slowly. "He already broke," I said. "He is breaking," he corrected. "Today we'll finish it." We reached the HOA office. The same beige building. The same hedges. The same glass door. Yet everything felt heavier. There were people outside again. More than yesterday. Some holding flyers. Some talking loudly. Some shaking their heads angrily. The moment I stepped out of the car, voices rose. "You saw what he did? I can't believe that man is still working here. He put these all over my yard too. He is out of control." It was surreal. Yesterday they barely talked. Today they were gathering like a storm. The front desk lady saw us coming and immediately disappeared into the back room. Mr. Reese leaned toward me slightly. "They know something is coming," he whispered. We pushed the meeting room door open, and the air inside shifted immediately. The board members all looked up, faces tight, tense, ready. Grant was there too, sitting in the corner, arms crossed. But his posture was different today. He looked frantic, unsteady, tired, like someone who had not slept at all. His leg bounced. His fingers tapped his arm. His eyes darted around, never landing on mine for more than a second. The board chair spoke first. "Thank you for returning on such short notice," she said, voice stiff. I placed the folder on the table, opened it, and slid the stack of flyers across the surface. "This is what I woke up to," I said, voice steady, calm, cold. The board members leaned in, eyes widening, mouths tightening, faces shifting from confusion to shock, to disbelief, to anger. One of them picked up a flyer. "Who printed these?" I looked at Grant. He stiffened, looked away. Mr. Reese spoke before I could. "My yard was covered too," he said. "This was deliberate. This was targeted. This was meant to intimidate." The board chair's lips pressed into a thin line. "This is unacceptable," she said. Grant exploded before she could finish. "You think he didn't plant these himself?" he yelled. "He is manipulating everyone. He is making me look like a villain. This is harassment against me." A board member snapped. "You need to stop speaking until asked." That shut him up, but only physically. His breathing was loud, his face red, his eyes wild. I sat calmly, hands folded, watching him unravel. The board chair lifted one of the flyers again. "This uses an HOA template," she said. "This was made with our internal design file. Only staff members have access to this." Grant's jaw tightened. "That proves nothing," he muttered. "It proves everything," she replied. He stood, chair scraping loudly. "You are all blind," he shouted. "He is dangerous. He is disrespectful. He threatens me. He threatens the peace. He is a problem. He needs to be removed from the community." Mr. Reese slammed his hand on the table. "You yelled at a child," he said. "You lied about him. You defamed him. You patrolled the street off duty. You stalked a family. You printed lies. You brought this on yourself." Grant pointed at him. "You are a coward," he said. "You always hated rules." "No," Mr. Reese replied calmly. "I hate tyrants." The board members muttered, the room buzzing with tension. Fear, anger, shock. The chair finally held up her hand. "That is enough," she said firmly. "Officer Grant, sit down." He didn't move. She repeated, "Sit down." He sat, but he shook, his hands trembling on his knees. "This board is voting today," she continued. "We have seen the video. We have seen the flyers. We have reviewed multiple complaints from other residents that were never addressed." My eyebrows lifted. Other complaints. He had been doing this for a long time. The chair looked at the board members, then back at me. "We are removing him from his position effective immediately," she said. The room froze. Grant's eyes widened, mouth opened, But no sound came out. She continued. Your badge will be revoked. Your access to HOA systems will be terminated. You are banned from carrying out any enforcement in this neighborhood. Grant finally found his voice. You can't do that, he said. Voice cracking. You need me. You need order. You need someone who isn't scared to do what's necessary. No, she said. We need someone who respects residents. You failed that. His breathing grew harsher. His face redder. He looked at me, eyes filled with something twisted, something broken. You did this, he growled. You ruined everything. I met his stare, held it, did not look away. No, I said quietly. You ruined everything the moment you yelled at my brother. He flinched. Just a little. Just enough. Security arrived. 2 actual officers. Not HOA employees. They walked in without reacting to his outburst. Sir, one said. We need you to step outside. Grant stood. Slowly. Shoulders tight. Jaw clenched. Eyes locked on me. You think you won, he whispered. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself. I frowned. What does that mean? He smiled. A broken smile. A bitter smile. A smile of someone who has lost control but pretends he hasn't. You will see, he said. He walked out. Escorted. Silent. Small. The moment the door closed, the entire room exhaled. A board member rubbed her forehead. This is the worst incident we have ever handled, she said. Another nodded. We need to issue an official notice to the entire community immediately. The chair looked at me. We owe you and your family an apology, she said. We allowed this to continue for too long. I nodded. Not triumphantly. Just tired. I want one thing, I said. Make sure he never comes near my family again. You have our word, she replied. The meeting ended quickly. Papers collected. Chairs pushed back. Voices low. When I stepped outside, a small crowd had gathered. Neighbors waiting. Watching. Hoping. Jacob stepped forward. So, he asked. I looked at the group. My voice steady. He is gone. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Relief. Satisfaction. Surprise. Some cheered quietly. Some clapped. Some simply stood with stunned expressions. Mr. Reese smiled. The first real smile I had seen from him. Good, he said. This neighborhood needed that. The crowd slowly broke apart. People returning to their homes. Their routines. Their lives. The storm had passed. Yet somehow, the air still felt heavy. Like something unfinished lingered at the edges. I walked back home. Each step slow. Each breath long. Each thought heavier than the last. When I reached my house, my brother swung the door open. Eyes wide. What happened? He asked. I knelt. Held his shoulders. He is gone, I said. He will not bother you again. His eyes softened. His shoulders finally relaxing. The fear slowly melting. He hugged me. Tight. Small. Warm. I knew you would fix it, he whispered. I held him close, letting the weight fall off my chest. We sat inside for a long time. Quiet. Calm. Resting for the first time in days. The sun set. The sky dimmed. The house finally felt like a home again. Though somewhere deep inside, a small piece of me stayed alert. Stayed aware. Stayed cautious. His last words replayed in my mind. You will see. People like him rarely disappear clean. Some keep bitterness. Some keep grudges. Some keep planning. Maybe he was done. Maybe not. Maybe this chapter closed. Maybe another waited. Time would reveal it. So tell me, if someone like him said, you will see, before being removed, would you ignore it? Or would you stay alert for whatever came next?